Hey guys, this is Tony from Greenlight Digital. I want to welcome you guys to a new series of videos. I'm gonna be setting up a new website. I'm gonna put you guys into some context before I actually start teaching you about headers. This video is gonna be all about headers, how to make any kind of header that you want using Thrive Theme Builder. And before we jump right into the actual video, it's going to be a series of videos where I'm going to be literally building a new site for you guys. You're going to be watching me do this. If you ever run into some questions, or if you want to see me build something specific, if you want to be implementing something on your site but you don't know how to build it, this is the opportunity, the chance for you to be dropping those questions or those feature requests on the comment section, because it's the pretty much the only way I'm going to be able to actually take into account all of those requests. Like I'm saying, it's going to be a series of videos. I'm going to walk you guys through how to set up pretty much any kind of website, how to do anything that you can think of using Thrive. I've already done this before in my free course, but I'm just going to keep on doing it because there's people that still have a lot of questions. If you still haven't checked out my free course, I'm going to link it down below in the description box. And just so you know, I'm down. The website that we're going to be building is more of like a blog. I have a Spanish speaking community on audience on personal finance and investing and building and acquiring assets. So the blog that we're going to be building is kind of going to be it's a blog for a personal project of mine that I have for a more medium to long term perspective. But it's since it's my website, we're going to be able to have the freedom to do anything that we want. Like I'm saying, you can build the goddamn New York Times if you want using Thrive Theme Builder. It's that powerful. And the good thing is that I know how to do this, and I'm willing to share it with you guys, and I'm willing to take in, like I'm saying, any questions, concerns, feature requests, anything that you want to see me build. It's your chance to ask for those types of things. With that said, I'm going to jump right into the video. I'm going to make myself a little smaller here. We're going to be talking about headers and how you can build any kind of header for your website. And the first thing that we should always do when installing Thrive Theme Builder and prepping our site to be developed is just simply run through the Thrive Theme Builder wizard. The wizard is going to be your best friend. The wizard is going to make your life much easier because it's going to essentially prompt you for every element that you need to set up your website. So just go to the Thrive Theme Builder section and go to the wizard. You put in your logo, you put in your colors, and here where you get to the header is where the fun thing begins. Here, FYI, I'm going to teach you guys how to build headers from scratch. You don't need to be using templates per se, but Thrive actually has a lot of cool templates. So if you know you're going to be needing a search bar, or if you know you're going to be using social icons, or if you know that you can take advantage of some of these templates that have already been built for you, go ahead and use them. I mean, they're going to save you some time in the long run. So in my case, I'm just going to go ahead and pick the most common one, and we can take it from there. Don't worry, I'm going to teach you guys how to build anything, all right? In that case, you would essentially run through the rest of the things. In future modules, I'm going to teach you guys how to use footers, how to use your homepage layout, how to do single blog posts, how to build your actual blog page, inner page designs, anything. I'm going to teach you all of these things. In this case, I'm just going to jump right into the actual header. Pick a template. Even if you're not fully satisfied with your header, go ahead and finish the process of running through the wizard. And once you've actually done that, you're going to go to Pages, and Thrive will have generated a page called Generated Homepage, which essentially is your front page, your main homepage. In my case, I renamed it. I've actually already have some things in here, but don't worry because I'm probably going to change all of this. And what you're going to do is you're going to be opening up the page with Thrive Architect. And here is where we actually get to customize our header. There is another way of doing this. You could go to Thrive Dashboard, and inside your global elements, you have a section here to create headers and footers. So this is your default header for the Shapeshift theme. We could customize it here as well. The only thing is that since I've actually already created somewhat of a layout in here, it's easier for me to see how it looks like if I'm editing the header within the actual homepage rather than just editing the header by itself, because it's kind of hard to see how it looks like from over here. But this is also another way of doing it if you want to do it like that. Anyways, so this is our header, right? I've got the navigation menu that came with the template and a button that also came with the template. And what we're going to do is we're just going to be expanding and trying to figure out if we can create some cool headers. Something that you can do, or a big question that I constantly get asked, is how do I actually, all right, so this is a nice looking slick header, right? It's going to be the same for for all of my pages inside my website, but that's actually another big question. If I keep rambling, I'm sorry, but thoughts get to my mind every now and then. So a big question that I get asked all the time is my header going to be the same for all of my pages? In theory, yes, unless you actually tell Thrive that for a specific page, you want to be using a different header. The header that Thrive's going to be using for you for all of your pages is going to be this one, the default one that comes with Shapeshift. You can, though, tell Thrive not to use the Shapeshift header and use a different header. That is something that you can definitely do. But anyways, by the way, I may have dropped, go to minute number 8 if you want to learn how to do simple things, or go to minute number 34 if you want to learn how to do this specific thing. Just for the sake of keeping things organized, in case you guys already know how to do some of these things. Anyways, so what we're going to do now is I'm actually going to walk you through how to add in different sections to your header. Another big question that I get asked all the time is, all right, so I get the fact that I can be using a header, but what if I want to add in a different section to my header? I mean, you could technically have a header that is just as tall as your hero section if you want. Probably not ideal, but you could do that. And one of the things that you can do is insert call to actions that get dragged along with your header. Right? I mean, you could be, for example, adding in a background section to the top of your header and insert a call to action here. Right here, you would add a download my ebook. And you can have this background section have the thing centered, vertically speaking, and you could have the background section be a different color. You could have it be black, and in fact, if you really want to make it look nice, which we should because that's the whole point of this video, we're going to have this be a call to action, download my ebook. We're going to make this be different font. We're going to try to make this look nice. I'm thinking Poppins looks nice. And let's make this a little bigger. Let's make it 24 maybe. This definitely doesn't look good, but I'm just trying to show you the overall concept, right? Let's make this white. And let's not make this that tall. It's super tall. And we definitely want to use these columns definitely need some margins at the top. 30, 30, and here we could have the text have some margins to the right as well. Probably to the top too. And here we could have a leadgen, for example. We could add in a leadgen in here, and that's probably very ugly, so we would probably want to make this be all in one line. Yeah, I'm thinking that would be nice. Probably have this be to the right and the sign up button be to the right as well. And that probably looks very bad, but that's fine because now we can actually customize the layout of the columns. We can have this button B. Get rid of all these margins. And we can do the following. So that's starting to take on some shape, right? We could have this be column, center this to the middle, lead gen, column, center this. Let's get rid of some margins here. Thrive constantly adds in margins, which I don't necessarily like, but it is what it is. Excuse the dogs, I got some dogs barking in the background. But essentially what you can keep on doing is customize this however you want, right? We could just add in some margins in here, try to center this. And in fact, instead of what Thrive added in recently with Theme Builder is this option of positioning things relatively speaking. And you can kind of adjust things horizontally and vertically, which is better than actually using margins in my opinion. So in this case, we want to bring this down a little bit. We would just use some of these vertical spacings, which looks cool. And now the main question is, hey Tony, that's cool and everything, but how do I make the background section actually stretch full width? And that's something that involves a little tweaking. So Thrive by default makes your header inherit the content size from the actual page layout, which we don't want. We want the header to actually be full width. And that way, what it's going to do is actually stretch. Now, unfortunately, Thrive also does this thing where it includes automatically some margins. If you're ever wondering why are my elements not stretching to the full maximum capacity, freaking Thrive added in some margins. That's the answer. It's almost always that's the case. So we're going to go to the background section and we are going, actually it's going to be the header, and see we've got some paddings in here that we don't want. Boom. And now we've got a nice looking black ribbon at the top. We still have some paddings at the top here that we don't want. 8 pixels. Boom, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of the bottom one as well. And take a look at that. Now we have an actual ribbon that's going to be displaying on every header for every page. Now this is actually not the proper way of doing a ribbon. For a ribbon, you would just use a Thrive lead. But this is something that you can definitely do. I mean, you can also put it below the columns if you want. And that's a slick looking header, right? And something that I didn't mention is that headers can be over content or they can push content down. In this case, I'm pushing my hero section down. But there are going to be scenarios where you actually want your header to sit on top of the hero section. For example, if I take you to my agency site, you're going to see that the actual header is sitting on top of my hero section because, number one, I wanted my hero section to be completely above the fold because I wanted people to be able to look at the text and take action here. I didn't want the header to be pushing my hero section down. In this case, I didn't really care. So I'm making it push down, particularly because here headers that are sitting on top of hero sections are most likely going to have a transparent background. And in this case, having a transparent background wouldn't actually make sense. And having a transparent background is actually a pain in the ass because, not all of your pages are going to have the same hero section background color. And depending on the font color that you're using, your header in some pages may look okay or it may not look okay. So definitely, only use over headers if you know that you're going to be using or that your fonts are going to make sense. But like I said, this is honestly not even a problem because you can actually tell Thrive, hey, I don't want you to use this header for this particular page. I'm going to teach you how to do this in a second. But anyways, where's my page? Here's my page. All right, so like I said, this is probably a bad example to be showing you because you shouldn't be doing this. sort of thing like this. If you wanted to do this and actually add in an opt-in form to the top or bottom of your page, you should be using Thrive Leads. I have a video on that in my free course. It's going to be linked down below. But what I have used for some clients is I have actually done, instead of having columns here, I have actually used sub-menus. So for example, for this background section, I could have another custom menu here. And it would just be, you can just create a random menu here. Perfect. And here you can have another sub menu. Now in this case I have the menu here, so it doesn't really make sense. But say that you wanted this, so for example, if you wanted the custom menu here, custom menu, we could drag this down here. And we could have maybe WooCommerce functionality should be coming out in like a month or so. So you could, maybe less than a month. So you could have a shopping cart icon right here at the top. Or you could have a shopping cart and social media icons. So for example, let's do an icon here. Shop. Perfect. That looks super ugly, but you could do that, and you could have social. Oh, interesting. I don't have my. Alright, so you'd probably have to do icons for the social media icons here. Let's just do Twitter, and let's do Insta. And you kind of get the gist of it, right? And let's just imagine that these are LinkedIn and Facebook. These are actually huge. Probably want to keep them like that. Nice and small, nice and classy. Perfect. And I think I skipped a step here. We should have probably used a background section. Let's do, content box, sorry. Let's have a content box here below the columns, and let's actually do columns. I made a mistake there. Alright, so let's drag each icon inside the content box. Oh no, hold on. Let's do this. Let's get rid of this column. Let's do so now for these columns we need a new content box, and we're gonna drag these columns inside the content box, and it's not letting me drag it inside the oh, it's because there's text in here. So now we actually have these columns inside a content box, which is great. Now we're going to have this content box be a maximum width of 400. Probably even less. 300? Yeah, like 300. Let's center this to the right, and let's bring this logo up to the left. Oof, that is one ugly move. Content box. See. Let's make a new column here. Alright, let me save this because Thrive is glitching on me. Let me refresh real quick. Cancel. Yes, I saved. Reload. And long video, but it's definitely going to be worth it. I think you're going to get some cool insights out of this. And boom, let's do, this is definitely not the best. Okay, so that is going to be definitely a problem. Let's get this out. And we are going, so here's the problem. I should probably be speaking out my mind. We have columns that have a maximum width of 300 pixels. So it doesn't matter if I actually drag in the logo to the left and try to stretch those columns because they're inside a content box that's 300 pixels wide max. So what I need to do is actually insert two columns or a new set of columns here that are actually, let's say, 2/3 and 1/3. And we're going to put the logo in here. And we're going to put this content box inside this column. And now we actually have something cool going on. Let's have this thing centered. And now we're actually speaking. Because now this is actually cool. And now we can keep on playing and making adjustments. So for example, well, this is actually probably going to have to be that way. Let's get rid of this column. We probably want this to be... Let's get rid of some of these things. Let's try to actually make this have some real shape and form. So we probably want to get rid of all of these margins and paddings. Jesus, Thrive. Alright. This is starting to take on some real shape now. We have a lot of... probably want to center this. What does that look like? That's not too bad. Not convinced about the positioning of the logo, but we can fix that. That's probably better. It's still too tall, but that has an easy fix. We can probably get rid of all of these margins. Wait. Perfect. 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 Excellent. And excellent. And there's probably going to be even more margins in here somewhere. I can smell it. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Now this is starting to take some real shape, right? We probably want this custom menu to be centered. I mean, this is just an example. I'm not saying it's the best designed header, but this is just an example of everything that you can do, right? There will probably actually be a shopping cart functionality that you can just embed and that you don't actually have to use an icon for. In fact, there's no way for WooCommerce to even see that that's an actual shopping cart, right? I'm just making it look like there would be a shopping cart in there. And instead of adding in an icon to this column, you would just add in the piece of code or something to tell WooCommerce to actually display a shopping cart. Anyways, hopefully you can kind of see what I'm doing with headers. We took a lot. I mean, we did a lot here. We took on this could be summarized as Thrive's original header, right? And we added in a new section at the bottom that's a different color. It's full width, and that you can pretty much repeat and repeat all over again if you wanted to. I mean, we could add a different one at the top if we wanted to. Boom. Put it above the columns. All right. Don't troll me here while I'm recording, please. It's not nice, but it is going to. All right. Plan B would be to try the other way around. Let's try to move this down. Thank you very much. And of course, this looks super ugly, but I'm just trying to show you how you can literally, you can build whatever you want, and do whatever you want, and it's pretty freaking cool and pretty freaking amazing. And that's going to, I don't know if I can teach you guys anything else about headers. I mean, you can add, okay, so let's actually go to, so let's just save this, all right? But let's actually go to global elements, and I'm going to create a new header here. It's going to be this header, and it's going to be, I'm going to choose this header, and I'm going to call it Tony is proving his point header. Boom. And the point that I'm going to try to prove is that you can actually tell Thrive which header you want to display for each particular page. So I'm going to save this. It's actually a nice header, to be honest. I really like that one. Anyways, let's actually... So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to a page, a new page. We're going to create a new page. And I'm going to tell Thrive to not show our default header. We're going to tell Thrive to actually display only well, the header that we just created, right? And we're going to add in a new page, and this is going to be Tony is proving his point page. Tony is proving his point. Ha! Alright, let's save this as a draft. And header. You can, so here is, in fact, you don't even need to do it there. You can go to Thrive. And what you can do is, you can, alright, so this is the actual, oof, this looks super ugly. We'll get to this in future videos, but essentially what you can tell Thrive is to go to the, if you hit page here, let me see if I can scroll this down. There's this page element at the top. I can't move this down really. Oh, there you go. Here, I think you can actually see it now. This element here that actually has the page template settings. Here is where you can actually tell it to use a different template design for this page or for the page content. You can change the future image from here, visibility. So here's where you actually tell, hey, don't show my header. Hide it. I don't want you to show it. And what we can do here is actually insert a symbol. Oh, we would have to go to the Thrive theme builder. Hold on. Because the actual content, sorry, I'm having random thoughts here. So, all right, here's the problem. We need, if you want to be using a different header for your inside pages, a different header from your actual homepage, you're going to have to create a new page template with that particular header inserted in it. So in this case, if we wanted to use the new header that we just created, I'm not going to, I'm just going to show you guys. I'm not going to create a new page template, but that's just, I'm just going to edit the one I have right now. This is my header, right? I can actually do replace and use my saved header sections here and use the one that Tony just created. Now, all of my inside pages that use this template, this page template, are going to use this header. And that's it. That's essentially it. But the homepage is still going to be the one that we made. Here's the proof. My header didn't change. Hopefully I'm making sense. I'm hoping I am making sense. And if we wanted to have another page, another inside page to use a different header, number one, I would have to unlink the header and replace it for a different header. So for example, let's use this one. Boom. Now the only problem is that, let's save our work. If I were to create a new page, save draft. Check this out. It's using the same header, which is why I'm saying we have to create a new page template for it. I mean, so here's the thing. You don't want your inside pages to be using different headers. That's just going to create cognitive dissonance. That's going to be a bad user experience. You're going to distract people. Your header needs to be the same, ideally. Now, if you really have to have a different header for each individual inside page, you will have to create a different page template. And the way you do that is you go to Thrive Dashboard, Thrive Theme Builder, and you go to templates and you create a new page template. So this would be template 2, which is going to be a new page template, and you can actually copy an existing template. So if you like the way your current boxed page design looks like, you can literally duplicate it and change the header for that particular template. That's an easy way of doing it. Now, guys, for real, there's absolutely no reason for you guys to
I'm not sure I understand.
Oh, that's Siri speaking. There's absolutely no reason for you guys to be using different headers unless you really have to. Anyways, I don't think I'm missing out on anything. If you still have questions, let me know. I can do a second video on this. Absolutely no problem. Drop down below some comments, questions, concerns that you have, and I'll be happy to answer them. Next video is going to be on footers. How you can do anything you want with footers. How you can customize whatever you want on, and putting whatever you want in your footer. It's essentially going to be the same thing, but it'll probably not be such a long video, okay? Anyways, thank you for your time.